I would love to show you how to make cassava chips because they are my go-to all-time favorite homemade chip. And now that I've made it about 20 or 30 times, I got some tips for you. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Okay, so this is the brand that I use, Otto's. This is the one that I found and I like it, so I'm sticking with it. Okay, so you can get any kind of cassava flour, I guess, that you want, but this is gluten-free, grain-free, nut-free, 100% yucca root, and so I love using this. So that's what I use, and what I do is I have this measured out for you. It's really easy, not very much ingredients. You'll notice that I put my chia and my garlic powder and my salt in here, and this is my cassava flour. But guys, guess what you can do? We talk about batching, so if you know you're gonna make it all the time, which I know I am, I just go ahead and measure out all of it at once and put it in this bag. You can label it if you want. I know what this is, but you can label it if you want. And then I have them, so it makes things faster when I get up in the morning before I get off and start my day. I can just dump it all in there, add my little water and my oil, and I'm good. But just to show you, for purposes of showing you, I'm pouring this in here. This is my cassava flour. This is my chia seeds and my salt and my garlic powder. That's just the combination that I like. You can put whatever seeds in you want. You can put garlic powder or not. But this is what I found that I love, so that's what I'm showing you. This is my oil. This is avocado oil that I'm putting in here. So you get all that in there, and then you just need some water. Now, I should have mixed up the dry ingredients before I did all the rest. I usually do that, but this time I'm rushing, so I just didn't do it. But stir that all up together and then pour that in there. Okay, so now I need to get my water. Okay, so I have this in here. Now I need my water. Now you only need 3/4 cup of water. You know, you get the 1 cup and measure it up to 3/4, but I can't see the 3 cups, the 3/4 marking on my measuring cup good, so I get my 1/2 cup, pour it in here, and then I get my 1/4 cup. There's my math working for you guys. I have a little extra water here because every once in a while my measurements might be a little off and it might get too mushy. The most important thing is you don't want it to get too wet, and so you're just going to stir it up. If you want, you can not pour quite all the water in there just to make sure that you're not getting it too wet. But I can see, as you can see, it's getting crumbly. It's starting to stick together, which is a good sign. And then at the end, when it's almost all the powder, these stuff is stuck together, you're going to knead it. Okay, so you're going to get it in here, and you're going to get all of the flour that's in the bowl stuck to the rest of the ingredients. So you just about clean your bowl out, guys, and then you're going to knead it again. It's nice and warm because my water is just about boiling because I found that it meshes together nicely when your water is really hot. You don't want to burn your hands, guys, though, but you do want the water hot. Okay, so then I separate it in 2 balls, which I've learned to do, and that makes enough just to cover my pan. I like to use a large tray, but if you use a whole thing, it's way too much dough at one time. Okay, so now we have the 2 balls ready, and now we're going to get our paper together. Parchment paper, which I love. It is my paper for the season. And I just put a little bit more avocado oil on here, probably about a 1/2 tablespoon or whatever. It doesn't matter the first time because you can use it. You're gonna use it. I do all 3 papers at once. I'll show you why. A little bit here. Then you just brush it with your brush. Cover the parchment paper. It doesn't have to be soaked. It just has to be, you know, spread on there just like you're painting the wall. Okay, and then you're going to put 1 on here. Going to push it down. The secret is to make sure the middle of it is flat. You want that to be as thin as it can get. Then you're going to put some oil on the other one and do the same thing. And then you're going to turn the paper here. Get up and get this going here. Same procedure, just brushing it across the paper, all the way over the paper. Okay, when you get that done, you're going to have the oiled part. You're going to turn it over, face down, get it on there, and then you need to roll it And the secret, like I said, is you want to press the middle of it to get that as thin. And here's the thing I like. You want it, I know the recipe says like a 16th of an inch or whatever. I found out I like it paper thin. Paper thin. And so you just keep rolling. Like I said, you have to make sure that it comes out for me to be an amoeba. I never know what the shape is going to be, but I'm rolling. You don't have to watch me roll the whole thing if you don't want to, but I'm rolling. If the paper moves, it's okay. I just pick it up and put it back. And then also, sometimes depending on the batch that you have or whatever, it goes beyond the paper or whatever, which is okay. I just pick it up and move this out the way. Water, since I didn't need any more water. And you see, like you see over here it's sticking out of the paper, but that's still too thick. So I'm gonna pick that piece up and put it somewhere. Like you see, I'm trying to get the middle thin. And when you lift it up, you want to see thin. So you just peel it off. If some is stuck to the parchment paper, you just kind of, scoop it off and just press it back on to where it's supposed to go. It's all good. It's oiled and whatever, so it's gonna all mesh back together and be just fine. Okay, so you see, I don't know if you can see how thin that is. It's very thin, and like I said, on this end it lapped over, so I'm just gonna scrape that off and find a place for it. This looks like a good place right here. And I'm just gonna press that with my fingers, get that on, and you get to the point where you kind of feel where it is, because the thinner it is, the crisper it's gonna be. Now that looks really, really thin. Use my mommy's tray. Slide it on the tray, just like that. If you have some pieces like this is sticking over the tray, I'm just going to scrape that off because I don't want it curling up on me when it cooks. I just go on and scrape that off. That's perfectly fine. Pick it off there. Find a spot. This looks like a good spot. Okay, over here, you see over here, this is way over here's the end of the tray right here, so I'm just going to scrape all that off. This is very thin, which was good, but I'm scraping it off because I don't want it to be curled all up when it cooks. It's okay if it rolls up on you or whatever, because you're just gonna find a place and you're gonna press it out very thin. Right there, this is here. See, I'm not using my gloves today. Aren't you proud of me? And I'm good. I'm not feeling monkish today. Okay, I can scrape this down a little bit more if I want. And I'm just getting it so it's not lapping over the side of the tray. That just is added on to whatever spots you have. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Okay, and then you're ready to put that in the oven for I do 35 minutes. I'm down to the science with my oven. With my oven, it's like 35 minutes, and I look at it, and you want it to be raised up off the paper a little bit, and then you don't have to worry about turning it over and do the other side and all that good stuff. You want it to be raised off the paper a little bit. And if it's not, then I put it in for about a minute or two, because you don't want to burn it. If you burn it, it has that little kind of toasted burnt feeling flavor, and you don't want that. But this looks good, guys, and so we're going to put this in the oven, and then I'm going to do the other one. Okay, so I put that first batch in the oven. First batch is in the oven cooking, and here's the good thing. Oops, I just lost my brush. Here's the good thing. While it's cooking, you can just go ahead and roll out the other ball, and it can just lay here, cover it with the second piece of parchment paper until the other one is ready. I love that because then I'm all through, and when the other one is ready, I simply have to put this one in, exchange it, and I'm good to go. So that's the first one, and you can use the parchment paper. The parchment paper that you covered the first one with becomes the bottom layer of your second one, so you're saving paper in that way. So you really only need to roll out 3 sheets of paper, and like I said, you want the center of it. This one's a little bigger, I can tell, and so it's going to come out probably all the edges of the paper, but it's okay because you just pick it up and put it where you want it to be. So the thing is, like I said, is to make sure that you get the center, then also so all of your chips are crispy. Okay, so I'm pressing down here and I'm rolling out. And like I said, this is bigger, so I kind of knew it was going to go over the side of the paper a little bit, but that's okay. It's all good in the neighborhood. So you see I'm going from the center and I'm rolling out. Edges are going to be really, really thin, but I want to make sure that the center, and as you do it, you'll be able to feel, like I said, and touch it and see if it's too thick. Like I can touch it and see that the center is still too thick. So you guys, you see how this is good exercise for your body? We talked about cooking being good exercise. For your joints and all of that. Let's see on this side over here, it's exceeding, going beyond the paper a little bit. But that's okay. I can just leave that there. I'm going to pull that off, tear that off, and add it onto a spot. Like over here. Over here on this edge too is coming all out. But that's okay, because I got plenty of room over here. Now I'm feeling it. This is still a little thick here. Like I say, as you do it, the more you do it, the more you realize how this is thin here. Or if you don't want it real thin, you know, do you. You like the thicker chip? I just like the thin one. Okay, I think that's good. I'm gonna peel it. You see where it's real super thin right here. It's good. That's gonna be good in the neighborhood. Okay, so I'm peeling this off. As you see, the little part is stuck. I am just peeling it off and sticking it back on. All right, so now we're overlapped. Here it ran off the paper. I'm gonna set that there, peel that off there. Put that there. The thing is, you just have to press it down and thin it out. Not hard. Like I say, the better you get at it, you just be able to feel for the consistency that you want. See, I got all this room right here where I can add on from over here. This got real crazy. So, see how that did there? So I'm just taking all that off and putting it over here because there's lots of room there. There's some space over here as well. So like I said, the thing is just to press and thin it out. You don't really have to roll it. If you want to get the rolling pin and do it, you can, but you can just do it with your fingers and it will do the same thing. Like I said, you'll feel that it's as thin as you want it to be. Now with this piece, you just have to cover it again with the second sheet. I just cover it so to keep it getting too dry. This is a little bit thicker than I want it. So you want it, you know, almost paper thin. You want to be able to feel your hand here and feel the table underneath and the counter underneath real well. The more you do it, the better you get. Okay, so that looks good to me. You cover it, and now you are all set. You can clean up your mess while you're waiting for it to cook. Then you just switch it and put it back in. I originally was using my pizza cutter and cutting it and stuff. Girl, please. I just let it dry. I let it cook, bake, and then I just snap it in pieces, and it's all crazy amoeba shaped. But it is faster, quicker. I don't want to do all that pizza cutting, but do you, if you want to slice it and have them nice and uniform and stuff, that is okay, fine with me. I'm just telling you what I do. I just snap those bad boys and put it in my little container. Okay, so I'll let you see the end product in a few minutes. Okay, so this is what I mean by having it raising off the paper. When it's ready, I had this in for about, actually it was for about 37 minutes this time, but you can see it's nice and crispy. And as I said, instead of using a pizza cutter, which you could use, I just take it and I break it up. So I have a little container, I just kind of take it and I just crack it up because it's more time efficient for me. I don't have to have it all nice and evenly cut into squares and stuff. And so I just cut it up, put it in there, even a little crummy part. This goes in the trash, and then I'm just going to substitute the other one. Take this off. In the trash it goes. I get the second one, and I put it on here. Make sure that it's not hanging all over the edges either. This is actually pretty good. And now that's going to go into the oven for about between 35 and 37 minutes. And cracking that up, and there you have it. Okay, here is the finished product. These are my chips. This is from the one batch that I did. I split it into 2 balls, and then I rolled out the one and made that, and then I rolled out the other. So it's giving you a good amount of chips there for you, for me and Oliver to eat up. Tasty too. I hope you try it.